Welcome back to News You Missed on this fine Monday, September the 29th, 2025, where time doesn't exist and we all just pretend it does. The boys are out, so you're stuck with me, bringing you the serious, the strange, and the stuff that makes you wonder if the world is just trolling us. Grab your coffee, maybe something stronger, and let's dive right in. First up, Donald Trump. He posted and later deleted an AI video hyping futuristic medbed hospitals. It looked like a Fox News style segment with Lara Trump, but it was a pure AI fakery. Now, was this an oops or a master chess move? Either way, it worked. Social media exploded and we're all shouting, what if cures already exist? And big pharma's looking shadier than ever. And yes, Q people are saying Trump's been foreshadowing quantum healing tech for years. Whether trolling or truth, Trump knows how to keep the conversation on him. Moving on to the Middle East, Baghdad and the Kurdistan regional government finally agreed to restart exports. 190,000 barrels a day are flowing through Turkey again after 2.5 years. That's over $100 million a month in fresh revenue. Kurds want back pay for salaries. Baghdad wants more control. Oil companies just want to get paid. Short-term win, but this is Iraq. Stability usually comes with an expiration date. Flying over to global economy, world debt hit a record $337.7 trillion, triple the size of global GDP. Congratulations! Humanity were officially the world's dodgy debtor. Gold's near record highs because investors want something shiny to panic into. In the US, inflation, Trump slapped 100% tariffs on imported drugs, with more coming for trucks and even kitchen cabinets. Yes, even your IKEA run is now geopolitical. Italy wants to hit banks with a €5 billion levy for the 2026 budget. Now, crypto land, my favorite, where the charts are wild and the hopium is free. Bitcoin is chilling above $109,000. Ethereum's close to $4,000. Solana added 419,000 Solana in reserves. Shell stations in South Africa now accept Bitcoin. Nothing like fueling up with a QR code. Silverbugs say it should be $500 an ounce if it's tracked mining ratios with gold. Instead, it's $46. So, either silver's criminally undervalued or the silver crowd just really likes daydreaming. Meanwhile, Ripple, XRP, stablecoins and tokenized treasuries are making headlines. One guy even predicted XRP at $9,861 by November. Outlook, bold. Over to Hacker News for normies. Let's talk hackers, and don't worry, I'll keep it simple. Britain's top spy agency, GCHQ, just got owned by an intern. He plugged his phone into his computer and walked out with spy names. James Bond replaced by USB-C. AI scams are cloning your relatives' voices. Hi grandmother, it's me. I need bail money. If a family member asks for Bitcoin, FaceTime first. And Demi keeps bleeding. Hyperdrive, part of Hyperliquid, lost $773,000 to a code exploit. They froze withdrawals mid-heist. If your investments sound like Marvel movies, don't expect FDIC insurance. Moving on, tragedy in Grand Blanc, Michigan. A truck rammed into a Mormon church, shots fired, fire started, IEDs found. At least 2 dead, 9 injured. The gunman, 40-year-old Iraq vet Thomas Jacob Sanford, died in a shootout with police. His mum even posted years ago about his IED injuries in Iraq. bombs were found on site. Trump called it another targeted attack on Christians. Outlook, this story's only beginning. Culture wars will run wild. Meanwhile, in North Carolina, a gunman opened fire from a boat at a restaurant. 9 hit, 3 dead. The shooter, Nigel Edge, was also a veteran, wounded in 2 IED blasts in Iraq. 2 mass attacks, 2 veterans, same weekend raises big questions about veteran care. But you'll hear more about guns and politics than the VA. On a lighter note, rapper Ice Cube's tour bus was firebombed in Portland. Some online think attackers confused Ice Cube with ICE agents. And while we're on Portland, Chicago, ICE facilities looked like war zones this weekend. Bearcats, flashbangs, tear gas and paintballs. Democrats still call it peaceful protest. Yeah, peaceful like a cage match. Meanwhile, the FBI has fired agents who were photographed kneeling during George Floyd's protests, saying it broke Bureau protocol. Meanwhile, former FBI Director James Comey has now been indicted. General Michael Flynn says whistleblowers are flooding in with even worse crimes Comey allegedly committed, and warned that Comey might want to flip fast if he hopes for a lighter sentence. Even CNN got hit with reality when Scott Jennings reminded a Liberal panel that it wasn't politics. It was an actual grand jury made up of everyday citizens that found enough evidence to charge Comey. Whether you call it swamp draining or swamp drama, this one's far from over and definitely popcorn worthy. Now, nearly 2 million Brits signed a petition against digital IDs after the GCHQ intern scandal. People are asking if the spies can't secure their own files. Why trust them with your Brit card? Journalist Alex Newman calls it a digital gulag. IDs, CBDCs, Vax passes rolled into one. It's not security, it's surveillance.
Everyone, this is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I want to do a quick update about a document that got passed by the United Nations this weekend called the Pact of the Future document. It's 2 parts, one on science and technology and one about the youth and future generations. It is quite egregious, and it was done by a procedure called the silence procedure, which makes it a pact. And if no one objected, it is automatically adopted and put into the record as being completely adopted. This is the World Health Organization's runaround, or end around. Since they were not able to get the World Health Organization treaty passed, they decided to take it to the General Assembly. And it is even more egregious than what the World Health Organization was wanting to get passed. Let me just read you something really quickly about what is inside of this pact that is now being accepted by 193 nations around the world and equally open-armed accepted by our current administration. It says that this is the power structure, fully digital and maximized for the control of the masses. Everyone will be expected to have a biometric digital ID that marks them not just as citizens of an individual country, but as a global citizen. So anytime you hear global citizen or anytime you hear sustainability, think that this is an egregious thing that's happening at the level of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Anyone that has a dissonant opinion will be labeled as misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation and memory hold. Perpetrators for unapproved information will be fact-checked and punished by the system, which will be operated and enforced by artificial intelligence. Punishments will include being locked out of one's bank account, being unable to make certain purchases, unable to get on an airplane, on a subway, drive on public roads. This is the future, according to the world's self-appointed overlords at the United Nations. These are unelected bureaucrats that are making decisions about our country, our sovereignty around the world. Nothing could be more important at this point in time than to get prepared. Have water, food, digital access, flashlights, a way to communicate with family and friends.
IDs, CBDCs, vax passes rolled into one. It's not security, it's surveillance. Dr. Fauci spotted on a flight still wearing a COVID mask. At this point, he's less doctor and more brand mascot. What a bloody twit. Russia launched a huge missile and drone barrage on Ukraine. UN reimposed sanctions on Iran. Tehran promises a harsh response. Israel shot down a missile from Yemen. India rally stampede killed 36 people. And in Texas, a casino shooting left 2 dead, several wounded. The world isn't a planet anymore, it's a power keg. Moving on to Great Britain's meltdown, Keir Starmer's in trouble. Only 21% want him to stay PM. 54% want him gone. 21%? Why on earth would you want him still in? They can't be real people. You cannot be feeling and thinking and God knows. Are you a robot? Ben Habib at a UTK rally says the establishment is failing Britain. Advance UK launched. Newcastle saw thousands chanting Starmer's a wanker. Flags ripped down to avoid offending foreigners. Urban Scoop showed it all. Peaceful, ordinary Brits who love their country. Legacy media just called them far right. The cracks are widening. Moving on, Italy shut down over Gaza. Ports, trains, schools all disrupted. Genoa, dock workers blocked arms shipments. Protesters stormed stations, threw smoke bombs, clashed with police. When infrastructure protests, governments listen or they collapse. Netanyahu told US influencers that TikTok is Israel's most important weapon. Forget jets, the real battle is your For You page. Moving on, China's purge. Xi Jinping sentenced his former agriculture minister to death with reprieve for bribery. He's already purged dozens of generals. This isn't anti-corruption, it's consolidation. The outlook, Jinping's long game ends in 2027. Over to NATO. NATO chief Mark Rutte says we're all in an age of confrontation. Blamed Moscow, Beijing, Tehran, Pyongyang. Notice NATO never blames NATO. Flying to Peru, tens of thousands clashed with police over pensions and corruption. Peru joins Nepal, the Philippines and Italy in showing the streets still matter. A punk band in Portland dropped a track called Kill the President. It's live on Spotify. So, violent music equals fine, misgender, someone equals ban. Big tech consistency? Zero. And a thought just came to me. Maybe all of these protests around the world and the government collapsing, is this when they bring in the one world government? We will be self-governance, as Charlie says, and maybe Trump will oversee it. Just a thought that came to me while I was reading the news. Let's carry on. We've still got a bit to go, guys. I've got it rolling in like a conveyor belt to the so-called conspiracy corner when everything's factual. Bill Gates named in Epstein files. Soros Open Society accused of giving $80 million to pro-terror groups. Muslim Brotherhood linked to migrants, suspect in Texas coach shooting, calls to designate MB a terror group resurface. Erica Kirk clarified she wasn't with Charlie when he was killed, but internet sleuths say her behaviour seems odd. Charlie Kirk praised Candace Owens just weeks ago, contradicting influencers claiming they weren't friends. Somebody's lying. Adding fuel to the drama after Charlie Kirk's assassination, Candace Owens herself has now called out Erica Kirk, questioning how the widow could be hosting shows and doing media appearances so soon after her husband's death. Candace hinted at what many online have been whispering. Erica's behaviour doesn't look like a typical grief. Some say she's too composed, others say it feels scripted. Whether you see it as a strength, shock, or something more sinister, the feud between Owens and Erica has theorists sharpening their knives, and it guarantees this story won't fade quietly. Over 100 delegates walked out on Netanyahu's UN speech. Putin teased a mystery major speech next week. Half real, half rumour. All of it shows how little people trust the system anymore. The world's not just crazy, it's caffeinated, and we're all strapped in for the ride. That's your news today. Thanks for watching News You Missed, and don't forget, this Wednesday, join the Insiders Club where the one and only Dr. Brian Ardis will be live for a full Q&A. Bring your questions, bring your doubts, bring your sass. Nothing's off limits. Sign up at www.charlieward.com and join us. I'm your host, Drew Demi, signing out. See you tomorrow for more News You Missed with Paul Brooker and myself, and look out for those financial funnies. Have a blessed day, God bless, and for now, bye bye.